This is an interesting place today, Phil. Where are we?
SALTRAM Quay. In the period of the Civil War, the River Plym could be crossed at a point between Efford and SALTRAM, somewhere in this area. Not to be confused with Longbridge, which was a causeway further upstream before they built all this extra land, reclaimed land over there and narrowed the river. In those days, if you stood here, you'd be on a royalist lookout. This would be a royalist lookout point. And up behind us is a breastwork, a stronger defence. This was the forward post down here. This has all been carved out of the rock. But in those days, it was a gentle, gradual slope up.
And this here's not the age, is it? This is afterwards.
Yes, this is afterwards. Yeah. This was a folly, this area. There was cannons here and a bronze statue later on. But in those days, if you stood here, you'd look across and see Lipson Creek running along between the Royalist works on the right and the Parliamentarian works on the left. If you can see the buildings further to your left, white buildings there, that would have been the Lara Point work.
Let's have a look at that, Phil.
Yeah, the right flank.
There is the Lara Point work.
Somewhere in that area up there.
You did a video there, didn't you?
I did, yes, yeah. And that would be the right anchor of the Roundhead outer defences of Plymouth. So you'd see Roundhead lookouts over there, Royalist lookouts over here, and the river, the Lipson Creek, which was a wide expanse of water this end, which went towards Alexandra Road, petered out up that way. Wooded, yes, not as wooded as it is today. On June 29th, 1644, a body of Roundhead foot crossed this creek, crossed this River Plym at low tide to attack the Royalists here at SALTRAM. They quickly overran the guards here and then moved up towards the high ground beyond. They had to move quick because the tide was already beginning to turn, and once the tide came in, you couldn't recross this creek.
You'd be stuck here.
You'd be stuck here. You'd be captured.
They had to get in quick.
Get in quick, do what they had to do their business, and get out. It was a raid. It was quite a significant raid because of the losses accumulated by the Roundheads on their way back. They couldn't take the breastworks. Royalist reinforcements moved down from higher up and pushed the Roundheads back towards the creek. Now, they got across the creek, just made it by the time the tide came back in, but they lost, the reports were from the Roundhead side, 6 killed, 30 wounded and a dozen missing. On the Royalist side, they exaggerated the losses, so somewhere in between there, we failed dismally in this attack. This was a waste of life. I mean, to lose that many men in a small skirmish for nothing is a total waste. And that's what happened here. There were other raids, but these are not recorded. A lot of the history of the Civil War went unrecorded. Minor raids. It's only thanks to John Sim, a chaplain who was in Plymouth, who kept a daybook, that a lot of these little engagements and encounters and people's names come to light. But he mentions this fight here, and he talks about it quite significantly. But it was a dismal failure for Parliament.
Once again, Phil, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.